Hey everyone, and welcome back to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk about everything you and your friends are talking about at rehearsal on a water break. This week we are wrapping up our WGI preview with what you can expect on the winds ends of things. We'll also find out what made Austin say,
"You can do it. There is no age limit. I'm just saying."
And why Susie said,
people were mad at us.
Oh yeah.
A lot of band directors. We got some hate comments.
All this and more on this week's episode of On a Water Break.
8 off the mat and go. Welcome to On a Water Break, the podcast where we talk everything marching arts.
Everyone, bring it in. It's time for a water break.
Hey everyone. It's Joey, and we are all about WGI this week. Can you believe it? It's already that time of the year. This week we're going to check in with some awesome performers on the start of their WGI seasons. Before we see who's on the sidelines this week, go and subscribe and hit the notifications on your favorite listening app. Write us a review and share this with your friend or friends. Got a question or a good topic to talk about? Email us on onawaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com or find us on social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. We even have a form now to fill out if you want to be a guest. We love having people on the podcast, so check out that link in our bio on our social media. Okay, let's see who's on the sidelines this week. Austin, my guy, I haven't seen you in a bit. How you been?
It's been good. Lots of nothing, but also a lot of everything at the same time, which is kind of crazy to say. I'm loving it. It's just a lot of administrative stuff on the back end. More to come on that, but excited for what's coming up.
That's good to hear. Susie, Madam Harloff, before I even ask you, I've kind of started putting you in this like weird pedestal space where you're like the mother of winds. I just want to let you know that. It's good to see you. How's the start of the winter season for you?
I will take that title. That's awesome. Look, the season is crazy. I'm having those first show nightmares, and we'll just say I'm getting excited to get these first shows under our belts. So let's go.
Heck yeah. Those first show jitters are real right now. Everybody's either had one last week or I think it's this week, most people's. Paul from Horizon Winds, how's the beginning of your season been so far?
It's been great so far. We're putting together a really, really cool show, and a lot of us are really happy with the work we've done so far. We're ready to perform.
I'm really excited to hear that. Coming from the Scholastic side, Daniel from Avon Winds, I hear you're a junior this year. How's the upperclassman life feeling so far?
It's been great. I don't have to it's like get bored in the back while all the upperclassmen do all the reps. I'm just watching them. Now I get to perform for the youngers.
Heck yeah. Well, that's good to hear. Now it's time for each of you to give us your 32-count life story. So, Paul, we're going to start with you. You've got 32 seconds. We'll give you an 8-count count-off, and you're going to tell us everything from the day you were born to what you had for breakfast this morning. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right, here we go. 8 off the mat, and you're off.
Hi, my name's Apostolos Lesser, but as you heard, I usually go by Paul. So I grew up in the Fort Lauderdale area, and when I was young, I moved to Citrus County, Florida, and I went to Lecanto High School, and I went there normally until my junior year. I auditioned and got a contract to perform with Horizon Winds for the Havana show, and I continued on into 2024 into Fuzzy Bird. I am a tuba player. I forgot to mention that. So I'm in my third season.
Awesome. Great 32-count life story. That's awesome. Go tuba. Daniel, are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, 8 off the mat, and let's hear it. From the day you were born to what you had for breakfast this morning. Here we go.
I was born in Carmel, Indiana. Raised in Avon, Indiana. Went to school there my whole life. Started with band. Started on euphonium. Did that all the way until like my freshman year. Marched outdoor on euphonium, and then switched to tuba for indoor. I've done indoor this would be my third year. I was a drum major last year. Loved doing that, and I play tuba in my free time. And Being at Avon is great, and I love being around our amazing staff.
Good for you. 2 tuba players in the room. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how that one happened.
Yeah. We'll work on it. Okay. So now that we've gotten to hear from y'all and you introduce yourselves, let's get into a little bit of news. All right, let's start off with Miss Harloff, the mother of winds. We're going to brand it. We're going to get shirts. It's going to happen on a water break exclusive. Can we talk about some of the new WGI rules that came into effect this year?
Yes, I think most people have been talking about this first one, which is the change in how high props can be and stand on and safety measurements and all the OSHA requirements that WGI is now following. So we're just kind of looking at all those. I know at Avon we have some props this year, and we kind of have to make sure that they are matching those requirements. But the one I noticed today that I really haven't heard people talk about, I think it's kind of a given, but it's about props that can roll. And no matter what height they are, if someone is standing on top of them, the props have to be locked, like wheel locks or like set piece locks, so that it's not moving when someone's standing on it. And that's regardless of height. So I just thought that was an interesting one. People might want to make sure it's kind of tucked in there with all of the lift requirements. The other one I just saw today that WGI posted about was the new timing and penalties judges will be making tapes, so that if you get a penalty, you will be notified via text after your performance, and you will have 15 minutes to talk to the contest administrator about any penalties you may have incurred. And because the timing and penalty judge will be making a tape, you will be able to hear exactly where the penalty occurred. So I don't know if they've done that in the past, maybe.
We're kind of talking in the chat. It sounds like that's something that used to happen. I feel like that for the most part, that's going to be one of the most boring tapes. And that's what you want, right? Is you're going to want it to just be like, and your equipment time started and your equipment time ended. Have a great day. Like it's.
Now I think I do remember those existing, but obviously you would only listen to it if there was a penalty. You could kind of hear why that happened. So
I think that's good. I mean, there's some stuff that happens in all our local circuits, and it's just great to give just another piece of information, like why did I get that penalty? Because sometimes it's so difficult to, you're getting in and out of the space and trying to find out like where did that 0.5 go? I think that's great. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Susie. Paul, do you got something you'd like to share?
So I have this cool article. 2 HBCU marching bands star in the new Travis Scott song 4x4. Travis Scott debuted his new single 4x4 on Monday, performing it live at the College Football National Championship game. On Friday, he dropped the music video to the song, which prominently features the Prairie View A&M Marching Band. The song itself, however, contains a sample from an entirely different HBCU marching band. According to whosampled.com, the band melody that appears at the beginning and throughout the song is a sample from the Aristocrat of Bands at Tennessee State University.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know Travis Scott was still making music, but I'm about it. I'm about it. Cool. Any chance to get like exposure on the things that we do, and especially in the HBCU space, like just having that have an almost international stage, I think is pretty cool.
There was an HBCU marching band in the Rose Bowl parade this year that just killed it, and they were kind of the talk of the parade. So that's pretty cool. They're getting all that exposure.
Who was it? I don't remember who exactly it was.
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that.
Oh, goodness.
If only something like Google exists.
I'm looking at.
I'm afraid to click off of anything.
Yeah. Technology's crazy. Susie, do you have a news story for us?
I do. I have something kind of painful. Sometimes the issues between athletic departments and band programs, we hate to see this, but at Brigham Young University, their pep band was uninvited from their basketball games. Like they showed up to do a pep band game and they were told, sorry, go home. And so there's been no explanation as to why, but there are two theories. One might be money-based, where they want to sell those seats where the band would sit instead of letting the band sit there. But then the other side of the coin is, because of the marching band season, they missed the first several basketball games, and this was the first game they were attending. And so I think the athletic department was like, well, you haven't been here before, so why do you get to come now? So no official word on why, but it's just always disappointing when you hear things like that. No matter whose fault it is, it sucks.
Yeah. I mean, we're there for like school spirit and trying to make stuff happen. It just always there's always seems to be a rub. We all try to use the gym space, and there's all kinds of, craziness with that. And so, I mean, we're all in the same space. We all want to do our place proud. It's tough when stuff like that happens.
I mean, band is the one thing that makes college athletics more fun, and it makes it unique. I don't know why they would try to kick anyone out. It doesn't make sense. Like, It feels like there's don't get me wrong. I don't really go to college athletics that much, but not having a pep band at a college basketball game, it feels like something's
more to the story.
There. It's weird. There's more. Yeah. There's something there. I don't know.
We'll have to get our On a Water Break investigators on it. Well, our host Peyton, who is the current drum major for Spirit of Atlanta, got to go to the summit, the 2025 Leadership Summit. So, Peyton, can you tell us about it? Thank you for that, Peyton. Really appreciate that. Austin, you got something you'd like to share?
I do. The inaugural WGI DEI Committee Roundtable will be held on Sunday, February 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern on Zoom. So check out all of WGI's social media for details. I'm sure it's on their website as well. One of our own, Nicole, is actually going to be doing some presenting, so we're going to actually check in with her very soon about what was presented. So keep your eyes out. Check it out. We're rooting for Nicole. I'm sure she's got a great presentation. So check it out. Sunday, February 2nd.
I was just going to say, I'm just still so thankful that the WGI community exists and that they still find it important to invest in diversity, equity, and inclusion. So very thankful to have WGI in our lives.
Yeah, we love WGI. They really do the most. They're always one step ahead of the rest of the world, and we love that.
I want to second all of that. Getting to work with all three of the competitive marching arts spaces, BOA, WGI, DCI, I really feel like WGI is really there for their members. Whether you're a staff member, a performer, or even a volunteer, there's so much understanding, there's so much support, there's so much counseling and mentoring, and it really feels like it's truly about growth of all of us as a community. And so for something like this to continue to exist in the times we're currently living in, I really feel like it's just a fantastic thing to have. So I'll be there. I hope to see others there as well. Okay, everyone, we've got to get back out there for VisBlock, so I'll step off my pedestal. We'll be back with some more about this upcoming WGI season.
Celebrating its 25th anniversary, Guard Closet was founded as a consignment shop in 2000. Since then, it has grown to become your one-stop shop for the marching arts.
Do you need consignment uniforms and flags for your color guard, marching band, or drumline? We have thousands of sets of consignments in stock and ready to ship.
Do you need show design and custom choreography? Our designers have years of experience in the marching arts.
Do you need to sell your items and clear out your storage areas? We take in more than 600 sets of consignments each year and return hundreds of thousands of dollars to our consigners for their sales.
Do you need to have your students order shoes, gloves, and other equipment? We can set up a microsite for easy student ordering of a wide variety of items.
Do you need custom costumes or flags? We can help get you great designs from our team through top vendors like Showday Designs.
Have you listened to our podcast, On a Water Break? Weekly episodes and bonus content keep you entertained and informed with what's going on in the marching arts.
For over 25 years, Guard Closet has been here to help. Check us out at guardcloset.com or follow us on social media.
everyone, we are back, and it's time to dive a little bit deeper into this WGI Winds season coming up. The first thing I got to ask is, what's everybody excited for? We'll start off with you, Austin. What are you excited for this season?
This is my first year off from WGI Winds in half a decade, which is kind of crazy to think about. I'm really looking forward to seeing the overall growth of the entire Winds division. Like, I'm really looking forward to seeing groups getting promoted a lot this season. I'm hoping that groups are really like pushing the envelope, and they're really like, hey, I want to make the jump. I want to do that. I want to go from A to open, or even open to world, even though it's scary. Yeah, I know. Even though it's scary, it's something that the Winds division desperately needs, in my opinion. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing a ton of growth from every single group. Like, there's more groups than I think there's definitely the most groups we've had since COVID this year, if not ever. I don't remember exactly what it was right before COVID, but we have a lot of groups in A class, both in the scholastic and independent side of things. So the more that those groups like attempt to advance through the classes, the more groups that are going to want to join. They're going to see the success and be like, hey, we can do it too. We can do it too. We can do it too. And it's just going to grow and grow and grow and grow. So that's what I'm most looking forward to.
Yeah, and just on that, I don't know how much to share. I've kind of been in conversations with a couple of people on the board, but it sounds like we were nearly to the point where we had too many people at Truist on Saturday, and that we were going to have to find place, which is kind of cool.
Love that.
That's a great problem to have, is what we were talking about. I was like, if there's more than 50, let's just find a bigger space. And how cool is it to have that conversation? Susie, what's got you hyped about this season?
Yeah, I was going to kind of say the exact same thing, mostly because I feel like every year, number one, the groups themselves are getting better at what we do, and we're learning from each other and seeing what other groups are doing and being like, that looks cool, we're going to try that. So just continuing to watch the evolution of the activity and everybody pushing each other. And then, as Austin mentioned, there's so many new groups coming, especially in the A class. I'm excited to see new schools coming in, new independent groups coming in. And I'm really going to make it a point this year, because being an instructor on a world-class team, we hardly ever get to see other groups. And I really want to get in there and watch those A and open teams and see what they're doing, what they're bringing. So I'm excited to do that.
Well, you're more than welcome to walk with any of my ensembles. They would be so happy.
Can I bring hairspray and glitter?
Yeah, they're going to
as moms do.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get the tote bag. We'll have the cart.
Sweet.
We'll make it happen. Juice boxes are in. I'm about it.
Grab the wagon.
Grab the wagon. You know how? So I introduced that to a high school this past winter. Like, I was like, here, use this wagon, put their shoes in it, get their jackets in there. And they were like, this has changed our life. So now they went out and bought. Yeah, they bought, and they're branding them. And the wagon's in. If we should get an on a water break wagon, on a wagon break wagon. That's hard to say. Paul, what's got you excited, bud?
Everything. I mean, I mentioned earlier, we're putting down a really cool show this year, and I'm excited for my season in general, but I'm also excited to see what everybody else throws down. It's always really awesome, the camaraderie that you find with other groups being in the Winds activity. Like, we're always lifting each other up, and it's just a great time. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, I feel I'm hoping that other people feel that in their other divisions, but I really feel it specifically in the wind space. We're just buddy with each other. Like, that's what it's like at the advisory board meetings. That's what it feels like being at regionals, and they're at Grand Nats. They're at in Debbie in Dayton. It really feels like we're all just happy to see each other and see what everybody put together the past few months. It's a really cool feeling, and I hope we keep this in the culture as we continue to grow. Daniel, what you got, man? What are you hyped about?
I'm excited for the performing at Dayton. Every year I've been doing it. The crowd's been getting bigger and bigger. and I love performing for people. So performing for more people every year makes me really happy.
That's pretty cool. Well, can we dive in a little bit more into here? Does this season feel any different to you than previous seasons for any reason in particular? Austin, does this feel any different to you? Is there? I mean, like obviously it's different. This you're out of the space. What's coming with that? Like, how does that feel? How do you feel like we're on a podcast talking about wins and you're not involved with wins? Like, how are you feeling about that?
I mean, I'm actually I'm enjoying the break from it. Like, it's just, I'm really enjoying the break. Being able to just kind of remove myself and kind of just get like a mental reset, and just being able to watch everyone, like, because I haven't really been able to do that the past couple of years. Like, I've been able to go and I've been able to see some of the world-class teams. Like, I've been able to see Avon, I've been able to see Strike, Legacy, and all those guys, and I've been able to see those guys, but I haven't been able to jump in and see see any open class. Like, I think last year I saw 2 open class shows, and it was Eva, so your group, and then it was Valhalla, and that was it, and that's all I saw at Debbie. And I want to see more. I want to see A class. I want to see open class. I want to see the Scholastic groups. And just being able to see all that from a broadened perspective, and not having to worry about one specific group and how they're going to keep their feet in time and how they're going to perform this choreography a certain way, it's refreshing to be able to just sit back and be a spectator.
Yeah,
that's what I love about it.
I think that's, like, again, talking about the wins culture. Like, we're all just hyped that we're all there. It's tough to not get to see the people that you're there to see. The weekend schedule is so crazy, because if you're on later in the day, you're probably trying to get a rehearsal in. That's cool. I kind of envy that a little bit. I can't remember the last time I've been to a competition on a Saturday, Sunday, even in the national competitions, and getting to actually watch groups. Unless we don't have a group going.
Right.
But that's kind of cool. I envy you a little bit. You might have to send me some notes.
I very much miss it. I promise you, I miss it a lot. But it is refreshing at the same time. I'm very excited to get back I'm very excited to dive back in head first.
Yeah.
In future seasons. But taking the break is something that I'm like, all right, this is kind of nice. But I do miss it a lot. I need to clarify that.
I almost feel like, I spent 3 years really trying to get into the marching band space, and then I found out just how much little money there is in it, and I was like, I should probably do something else with my time. And so I owned an automotive repair garage for about 4 years, and we built this thing up pretty cool, but I kept on getting pulled back. And so I'm sure just like me, I mean, I got 3 years, but I got to tech a little bit in those 3 years, and then I just dive in now. This is all I do. I'm sure next year it's going to be, you'll be, kind of refreshed and reinvigorated to go out and make something pretty awesome. So I can't wait to see what comes out of Austin's brain next season. Susie, same question.
I'm actually going to volley this question over to Daniel, because I teach Daniel, and so I don't want to give the Avon answer. I'm going to let him kind of talk about it, because our season is quite different this year. So what do you think, Daniel?
It feels different for me. At Avon, we're trying to do something completely different, something I've never done before, and I haven't seen much of it anywhere else in the WGI space. So I'm pushing myself to the limit every year. I mean, every practice. So trying harder and harder every time.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a secret. I mean, we made the announcement about our World Guard and how we're going to have several World Guard kids in our Winds group. Yeah. And so just having, that element added to what we're already doing. Yeah. Number one, it's more people on the floor. Yay! But it's just a cool vibe. We're doing a show that's different than we've ever tried before. And so, yeah, the whole year just feels really different. We're excited.
Ooh, I'm excited. I kind of want to come out of retirement just to see what that's about. I really do. I should probably give Tyson a call and see what that's about.
Tyson.
So it's
I know, right?
full brass line, all brass. It's the Carolina Crown approach over there at the Avon. All right,
nice try.
Relentless Part 2.
What are you talking about? It's woodwinds only. Plus Daniel on tuba. That's it. That's all it is.
He's the solo performer. We switched the script for WGI. I dig it. That's cool. Well, I'm now super excited to. Not that I wasn't super excited, but I like when people come out with something different. We talk about this idiom kind of continuing to grow, and every year somebody tries something different. It's like, oh, okay. So I'm really excited to see what people do. That kind of resounds what you all did last year, and then once again, you guys are going to come out and just continue to innovate. That's pretty cool.
That's the hope.
I'm so jealous of people that get to have that high school experience. I loved where I went to high school, and I got my start in the marching arts there. And so I'm very thankful for Mr. Sharp and Mr. Hansen. Haven't talked to him in a decade, but if this existed when I was in high school, I think I'd be in a different place, and I get to have the experiences that you have. I'm so jealous of you, bro. We're gonna move on before we create this weird. Let's just talk to Daniel the whole time. Paul, what you got? How does this feel different?
So it's a little different personally. This is my third year with Horizon, but it's my first year on leadership with Horizon. So I've kind of taken on a new role in the group. I'm the tuba section leader, and it's really been it's been cool. It's been fun. And it's fun to step up to that new caliber of setting the example and the standard for when rookies walk through the door. They should look at a section leader and understand what's up. Know, hey, I should probably go get to my dot. And it's cool setting that professionalism as opposed to being the second year vet or the rookie looking at those people doing that.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've been on tuba all 3 years?
Yeah.
How do they pick their leadership? Like, what's that process look like at Horizon?
So what we'll do, it's about halfway through the off season, I think. We'll do applications in our old group that we have. And it's like, hey, if you're interested in possibly being part of our leadership team, go ahead and write your name down. And we'll do a series of written interviews and Zoom interviews, and we'll talk with all our directors. And through that process, they'll send us an email if we are selected to be on the leadership team and what role we have. So, yeah.
Congrats on getting leadership.
Thank you.
It'll be cool to see where you lead them here in what did they say? 10 short weeks we'll be in Dayton. Is that what they said?
10?
10? Isn't it 10?
Is it 10?
I don't know. I can't do math.
Oh shoot! Oh my god! I'm stressed out. I'm not even involved, and I'm stressed out thinking about that.
We just got movement one on.
I know.
Well, it always sets itself up. it'll be all right. I'll talk really quickly about what's different for me this year. I have stepped away as the ensemble director of Eva this season. Our music lead, Mr. Will Irwin, has taken that job, and so he's really there every weekend, setting the rehearsal schedule and times, and making sure people are there, and checking facilities and all that stuff. And I'm kind of stepping back as we prepare to come out with a guard and percussion group next year. And so it feels very weird to not cheer for anxiety and stress. It feels weird to not be as intimately involved with everything that's happening, and it kind of feels like there's that power struggle of I really want this to go my way, and this is going to be a year of other people can do these things and they can do them well, and maybe they can even do them better than me. Not even maybe, they're definitely going to do it better than me. Eva's going to be such a strong place to be in a year, administratively and just culturally, which is really exciting. It's just weird to not be in every one of the conversations.
Now, you're still there and doing stuff with them, right?
So now I am just staging and choreographing. We've got a tech staff, a pretty big tech staff that will will be doing most of the things now. So I just step back.
That's a good thing though. It kind of gives you more time to do what you need to do in other ways, and obviously, I mean, it's successful. Obviously, Eva's successful so far, and it's only going to keep getting more successful now that you guys are ready to bring out a guard and a percussion group. Mm-hmm. So take that with what you will. You know what I mean? Something good is going on up in Raleigh, Cary, North Carolina. You know,
Raleigh Cary's a place. That's what we call it here.
It's just a place, right?
Yeah. No. I'm really excited for the future of the organization. It's just it's weird. It's just a weird feeling not being the one, and I'll be okay with it one day. But alas, here we are. Can we talk about goals? Like, I want to hear about what your goals are for this season. I'll start with mine. My goal is to not freak out on show days. And usually I keep it pretty chill until warm up starts, and then I'm just pacing, and I realize what that does to my students. And so I'll not be in the room anymore, or I'll sit down and I'll play Pokemon Go, or I'll catch a little goose fraba, take some deep breaths, But yeah, my goal is to not freak out on show days. Let's go with let's just keep the same track going. Austin, do you got any goals for this year?
Yeah, I actually do. My goal is to watch and support as many Winds groups as I possibly can. Easy peasy.
That is really easy. You are same as Mama Winds. You're more than welcome to walk down with any of my ensembles. We'll take all the hands we can have, and all the claps we can have as well. Susie, do you have a goal for this season?
Yeah. Just speaking as Avon as a whole, again, our show is very different for us, and we have developed performance quality that has worked for us for several years, but we have to kind of think very differently about our performance qualities this year. So my goal is to try to help work the kids through that and get them all on the same page and make them comfortable with that new kind of performance quality. So
yes, theater exercises.
Yes, so many theater exercises.
I'm about it.
And one more goal for Avon is that we can get our stage set up in a timely manner. That's all I'm saying about that. Daniel,
we'll take the penalties in February, but towards March, towards the beginning of April, it'll work itself out. Yeah, it always does. Daniel, you got any goals for this season?
Make every member of the crowd feel like they're connected to the show in some way. Perform to everybody. Make everybody have a great time. Make it feel like it's worth their time.
Heck yeah!
That's my student.
He's so well spoken. So maybe trained on this. I don't know.
It makes this mama's heart proud.
I don't know. You guys do media training at Avon too?
Is it like that BD interview stuff where they kind of give them things to say? Is that what this is? No, this is genuine. Go Daniel. All right, like I said, I'm. This is very quickly becoming the Daniel show. Paul, give it to me. What's your goals, man?
I want to double down on what Daniel said. I love performing at Horizon, and the way I always explain to my friends about indoor winds is if you took marching band and theater and smushed them together. So I want to really make the audience feel like they're in the theme of the show, like they're surrounded by a bunch of what we are.
That's beautiful. Yeah, again, just talking about the experiences that some of these young ones get to have, and y'all. I mean, Paul, you're not young. We're all young. Let's just say that. Let's not get into this ageism thing. Okay, we're all. It's just a number. We all are just living experiences. I wish I could do wins. I think we're gonna try. And maybe this is giving off things that we plan for the future with Eva, but this season we're planning to have something pretty non-traditional in terms of membership show up on the floor. And then next year, I want to find a way to get on the floor. And I want to find a way to just be a regular member because it just looks like so much fun.
Joey, I'm just saying, Valhalla Winds has multiple 30-year-olds. You can do it. There is no age limit. I'm just saying.
30-year-olds.
I know one of them personally. I ask him every single time I see him, I'm like, why do you keep doing this? He's like, it's fun. I'm like, how are you not broken beyond repair? And he goes, I am, but I'm still doing it.
I'm just saying, I did a 4-starch yesterday. I did a 4-starch on Friday. It is Wednesday. I still feel it.
Did you almost tear your Achilles? Is that what happened?
Yeah, I popped that heel up. I said, get that heel up. And I said, oh, just like that. Reset. Don't look at me. That's exciting. I can't wait to find a way to get involved in a performance space of it.
I actually have a question for Paul. This is his 3rd year at Horizon, like we said a little bit earlier. So, Paul, Paul's actually, I don't know if you guys know this. Paul's actually a former student of mine. I was there for his first 2 years. What is like your most favorite memory that you had in your up to this point at Horizon?
There's one memory, it's from last season, that specifically stands out, and it jumps back to that camaraderie I was talking about earlier. And we do the Miamisburg preview show for WGI, and we go to Miamisburg High School, and we have a bunch of Winds groups there, and we all play for each other. It's one of the coolest performances we have, and all of Horizon is getting up to go down on the floor and do our thing. And obviously we're all in pink. We're all dressed like flamingos. And the other groups start chanting Fuzzy Bird at us while we're getting down to go do the show. It was so much fun. And it was such a high energy environment. And there was so much support in that room. It was so much fun.
That was a fun show.
It was great.
And the best part about that show is that everyone does not have their best performance run, but they go out there and they have fun. And it's just fantastic because no one cares. It gets everyone's jitters out for the weekend so that when they show up on Saturday and Sunday, they're good to go. That's the best part about it. And I remember specifically about that night, we were up there, like me and the rest of like the staff were up there. And then I think it was LSM that started it. And
it was either LSM or Vaquero.
Yeah, it was either one of them because they were both sitting right next to each other. It was one of them that started it, and they just start chanting, and the entire room just starts chanting Fuzzy Bird, and we just start laughing. Yeah. We're like dying. We're like, how did this even happen? Like, this is such a band kid thing. It was so fun though. That's probably my favorite performance out of all 3 circuits that exists. It's so fun.
Yeah.
All right, can I jump in with a question for Daniel?
Absolutely.
Even though I see him a lot, I really never have asked him this question. So, Daniel, what has been your favorite performance moment with Indoor Winds?
My favorite performance moment was probably last year during the chaos section of our show. It was during the woodwind feature, and the brass just got to go throw around horns and act silly, I guess. And I love throwing stuff, so I got to throw my tuba and jump over it. That was pretty fun.
So it was you.
The one and only
you.
You're the reason, Daniel. Now you're an enemy. We were friends earlier. Now you are the reason why I've had to talk to every Contra player, every Sousa player this year.
Not the Sousa players.
Can I throw my horn? Absolutely not. You can't throw your horn. That thing's 100 years old. It breaks every time you touch it. We're not throwing these horns. You're the reason. Okay.
People were mad at us.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of band directors. We got some hate comments.
I haven't even looked at those yet.
Sorry, guys.
I loved it.
Let them do that. Well, teach them to throw the horn right. I don't know.
And can I tell you something fun about that chaos section? If you ever feel like watching our show again from last year, that section. Number one, the roar of the crowd is something I will never forget. It was insane. And by the way, there was another tuba that threw his tuba, right? Jason threw his as well. But I think Daniel's was more visible because it was against the the backdrop. So that was cool. But all of that the kids were doing was 100% improv. Like, they made all of that up themselves. Yeah. So that was a really cool process to watch them figure that out and then have to like get into marching at different times. And it was really, really cool thing to work on.
I loved it. It was cool. No beef. One day one of my groups will throw horns, but it'll be because of you. So that's cool to be able to say that you did that. Can we play like a little game? You guys cool with that? I wanna. So the game is you're gonna say 3 to 5 vague words, and you're about your show to describe your show, and then we're just gonna go around and try to guess each other's show. Is that possible? Are you allowed to? Does
that mean Avon gets 6 words because I give 3 and Daniel gives 3?
Let's make it. Yeah, let's make it. You guys get 6 words.
Oh gosh,
you guys get to work together to make that happen.
Daniel, you go first. Okay,
so, yeah.
I go first. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'll start with Evan. We'll make it pretty fun here at the beginning. Okay. All right. So let's go. 3 words. We'll make it easy because at this point I don't even think I've told everybody that I could, and I told my mom, and she was like, "That's silly. That sounds like a you show." But go off. We'll go teeter totter, quiet coyote. That's 3 words. Okay, I'll do one more. Right. Teeter totter, quiet coyote. Yeah. We put that in the show, and it's like the first thing we do in the show. And then what about tetherball?
Okay, elementary school.
Close. Anybody else? That's the time period. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it recess?
That'd be like playground shenanigans.
Shenanigans. Yeah, there's shenanigans that happen here.
I'm sure there are shenanigans. It's the Joey Montez show.
Like recess, playground, I heard someone say.
Something like that.
Yeah, recess. That sounds like it sounds like recess. Yeah.
Yeah, we're calling it playground. Yeah, so we're doing this show kind of like getting you back to this time where things didn't really, you didn't have the stress of the world. You just, the bell rang, quiet coyote was cut, and you just found your spot in the playground, and you got to hang out with your people. So we're trying to do this thing where, you've heard of a playground crush, you've experienced the bell ringing and just absolute, like the rats in Ratatouille, that scene in Ratatouille where the rats are just running everywhere, finding their space on the playground, and then playground fights. We've been around that, and so kind of playing with those 3 things, and then in the end we're working on it right now, but trying to find a way to have a conversation with younger you and current you, and are you proud of what you've become, and what would you tell younger you, and just having this intimate moment of like, this was a time where things were a little bit more relaxed, and if we could all just be there and play nice with each other, that would be good too. But that's kind of where we're at right now. Susie, Daniel, you wanna play? Want to play with us?
Before we do this,
okay.
I like we're still playing the game where we're not telling people what we're doing, so.
Okay.
It hasn't been released out there, so I'm sorry. Even if you guys guess right, we're going to have to be like this. Maybe?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
all
Daniel, what you got?
Work, fun, and I'm blanking on a 3rd word. Could you help me here, Susie?
Me? Nicknames.
Nickname, that is.
Oh.
Okay. Work, fun, nicknames. I'm going to give altitude, cool, and visual ensemble.
It's giving pilot show.
It's giving what?
It's giving a show about pilots.
Oh, interesting.
Nice.
That sounds like it. Okay. Yeah, it sounds like aviation to me.
I immediately, he said work and fun, and I was like, you ain't gotta go to work, and I thought that it was like that's
I heard work and fun. And I was like, I was like, maybe it's duality of man, and then you went. I was like, okay, duality of man, sure, and then you said altitude, and I was like, oh, it clicked. It's got to be something like pilot show. That sounds right.
But there's a stage.
That's what I'm saying.
That's the plane. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk.
We're going to talk about this.
We'll talk during the break. I gotta know. All right, that's fun. Paul, do you have any guesses?
I have no clue.
We were sufficiently vague. Yes.
Yeah. There's a show about owls. I don't know. Altitude. Altitude? Could be cool. All right, Paul. You want to play?
Yeah, I've actually been given the green light to talk about the show because this episode comes out on our show reveal.
Woo! Let's do it.
So we're going to start family, speed, Throttle.
Oh my gosh, it's 100% a Fast and Furious show.
Not quite.
Wait, is it something? Is it?
Race cars?
Jeff Gordon.
Al Unser and Al Unser Jr.
You guys are on the right track with vehicles.
Does it involve like motocross?
Sort of. Not motocross. But
is it dirt bikes? Is it something else that has a motor on it?
Yes.
Like a motorcycle?
All right. Yeah, motorcycle is it.
Okay.
Our show is entitled Song of the Open Road. And essentially the idea is that everybody on the floor is in a biker gang. So we're calling the biker gang the Horizon Choppers. And I can say our opener is Ride by Hazo.
Okay.
And it's going to be a lot of fun, but we're also exploring the idea that the title of the show, The Song of the Open Road, has this underlying subtitle, Together We Share Life's Burdens. So it's also about how your biker gang is your family all in all. And it's really cool. We're doing some really cool stuff with this, and I think it's going to be a crowd favorite. I hope so.
That's really exciting. Are we finally going to get our Life as a Highway impact moment that I've just always tried to pitch? Like, can we get Life as a Highway? Can we get Higher by Creed? Like, can we do one of these like love ballads? I don't know.
Give me Creed. Give me Creed. I want Creed so bad.
Yeah, give me some Creed.
None of those, but some other recognizable things. It'll be fun.
Okay. All right.
I'm excited. That's going to be cool.
Keep your secrets. That's awesome. Well, thank you guys for playing. That was really fun. Let's get back on the floor so the guest clinicians could get into some sectionals.
Marching by Montez is a visual design business based out of Raleigh, North Carolina, but provides services to ensembles all across the country. Our services include custom drill and staging for marching bands, indoor winds, indoor percussion, and winter guards, as well as custom band and guard choreography for all 3 winter idioms and marching bands. We now offer program coordination for ensembles throughout the U.S. and custom graphic design for all of your uniform, props, flags, and floor needs. In-person and virtual program consultation options are now available through Marching by Montez, as well as custom sound design for your indoor winds backing tracks, winter guard soundtrack, and show soundscape needs. Visit us at marchingbymontez.com, contact us at joey@marchingbymontez.com, and check us out on social media at Marching by Montez.
Okay, everyone, we are starting a new segment called 60-Second Tech Block. That is a mouthful. Each week, one of our hosts or guest clinicians will be forced to give a 60-second tech session with the section needing it the most after the last run. So basically, our special tech this week has to choose 3 topics they think they can give a 60-second nonstop speech about and maybe help some people out there. This week, Susie is up. Susie, we're going to get through it together, all right? Okay. Susie, you said your best topics were 1, engaging more ensembles to register in the Winds idiom. 2, when a marching arts family should go to Disney and what they should do. And 3, how to be the best Winds mom, which we've already established you are. Okay, everybody, what topic do we think Susie should speak on today?
Oh, I guess I get to decide.
How to be the best Winds mom.
How to be the best Winds mom.
I'm in on Winds mom. We're this team.
You know, Susie, all these topics, I feel like you could speak for hours on, but we're going to give you 60 seconds. We've decided you're going to talk on how to be the best Winds mom. I hope you talk about juices in there at some point. Paul, can you help me out with this? Can you put 60 seconds on a timer on your phone? And Susie, you think you can do this? You think you're ready for this?
I actually think I can.
Okay, all right, here we go.
60 second tech block.
Ricardo! That was Ricardo, right? Okay, am I going? Okay, to be a Winds mom, here are some tips. Number one, you have to learn the names of all of the people in Indoor Winds. And with a group as big as the one I'm teaching, if I can learn all of them, so can you. So make sure you know their names, get to know a little bit about them, because they are going to come to you whenever they have questions about anything. Even if it's a question that you don't even have the answer to, they will come to you. Number two, get yourself a wagon. You're going to have in this wagon juice, drinks, snacks,
30 seconds.
Band-Aids, feminine products, water, all of the things that you need, essentials. You carry it around with you at all of the shows. If you don't have a wagon, a backpack will work, but it could hurt your shoulder, so make sure you have Advil. Another thing you can do to be a good Winds mom is get the merch. Head to toe merch, and that includes like earrings that are themed to the show,
10
anything
seconds.
else that can put you as part of the group, right? You got to have all the merch on. And finally, to be the very best Winds mom ever, you have to cheer and scream extra loud.
1.
And bonus points if you can scream people's names.
Yes!
Wow. That was incredible.
Thank you for picking that topic. That was
That was incredible.
Wow. You know, WGI has done like these educational webinars, and you know, Tim Hinton does his marching education ones, and there's just all these things. We might need a band mom, Winds mom.
Maybe the next WGI con.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. You should 100%.
Here we go.
Could you imagine how crazy? You know, I have a theory that the band parents get crazier than, you know, we know like some band directors be getting wild out there. I feel like these band parents be getting crazy. I could not imagine having them out in San Francisco, New Orleans. I hope one of these days it ends up in like Chicago or something. That could be fun. Yeah. That was awesome. Go Susie.
We're all sending an email to Wayne Dillon right now saying we need to put Susie Harloff in the WGI con so we can teach band directors how to effectively teach band moms to be band moms, right?
If she's not walking the finalist into the arena on Sunday, we're not having finals. that we've decided. That was awesome.
Right. Enough.
Thanks, Susie. We really appreciate that. With that, I think it's a perfect time to switch over to What Are We Doing? Y'all ready?
What are we doing?
What are we doing?
All right. We actually this week we have a listener submission for What Are We Doing from Andrea. Check this out from Andrea.
Hi, band and guard friends. This is Andrea from Marshall, North Carolina. I was in high school band decades ago, and it changed my life. Fast forward, my son is in band, so now I get to be a hardcore band mom. Here's what I'd like to know. What are we doing deciding that it's too much work to have a competitive band program? I've seen way too many comments on social media from current directors speaking to this topic and saying that it is better for their own burnout prevention to just do concerts and even skip football games. I know, blasphemy. Competitions and football games are what I remember most, not so much the concerts. If my son went to school and just learned to play the triangle and come home, I don't think he would have stayed in band beyond elementary school. Kudos to the directors who miss meals with their families and have to strategically plan vacations around band camp. I imagine that isn't the life for everyone. But maybe you should consider that before going into music education at the high school level. By the way, one tool that might help prevent burnout? Band moms. Use us. I guess I can't speak for everyone, but I feel like most programs have a good core group of moms and dads willing to jump in and do just about anything. I love the podcast, and I've been sharing it with everyone I know. Keep up the great work, and I can't wait for season 3.
Oh my gosh. Andrea killed it.
Nice.
I love that.
Yeah. But before we go in and just talk about some of the things she was talking about, I just want to say there are a lot of things that go planned well with this podcast. We definitely didn't plan for Andrea to talk about band moms, and then for the Winds mom to be on the podcast with us. That was just great timing.
Yeah, I'm going to be so real. I went in blind to that as well. I didn't even listen to it before, and I was like, "Wait, band mom, Susie's here. This is incredible." And then she went on it. And then she went on a what are we doing tangent about directors who don't want to be competitive or even field a marching band. I was like, "This is right up my alley. She's great. I love this."
It's interesting, right? I work with groups all over the U.S. and there's some band directors that are very much well, I'm going to hire this person to do this thing, and I won't have anything to do with it. I'm good with it, and that works out well. And then we've got those band directors that jump in and and do a lot, and everybody has their space and has what they're able to do. It just I always think about, like, there's got to be how can I reach one more kid, and I think at some point maybe some feel some burnout in that, and I guess I can understand that, but I guess I'm 30 or 31 right now, and I still have this, like, I want to I want to get one more kid, like I want to change one more life, I want to create one more really cool experience, and so I kind of have like mixed feelings about this. What are we doing? Anybody got any thoughts? No, that's okay. It's all right. Can we hear some what are we doings from y'all? We'll go down this list. Austin, you got a what are we doing?
Oh, do I ever have a what are we doing? Oh, this one is I've been sitting on this one for a minute.
Uh-oh.
But I'm finally back and it's gonna happen. All right. So, what are we doing folding groups after the designer gets to the place of rehearsal?
Oh,
I'm gonna keep this very vague, but there was I was supposed to be involved in a Winds group this winter, and I was in conversations with them, and I said, "Hey, I'm coming out to this rehearsal." They said, "Hey, we're in trouble." I said, "Hold rehearsal anyway." I go, "Great," and I flew 4 hours to get to said rehearsal, and then I show up the next morning, and they said they folded the Winds group, and I go, "What?" I was like, "What do you mean you folded the Winds group after I specifically told you not to fold the Winds group?" They're like, "No, we just folded it." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. All right. What are we doing not communicating with our designers when things like that happen?"
All good. Paul, you got a what are we doing?
Sure. I got one, and it's something I'm working on with myself this year. What are we doing not lifting up the rookies and being friends with them? So, if you're not going out of your way as a vet to go up to a rookie who is sitting by themselves, they're not going to be the ones who become vets in later seasons, And like, if I didn't have the support I did in my first season with Horizon, I probably wouldn't have wanted to come back. But I had a great time with people I was around, and I want to be that person for some other people this year. So I think that's something that should be encouraged more among some other people.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I cannot love this enough. I cannot love it enough.
Yeah, and you're in the right position this year to absolutely just slay with that. Good work.
I'm just going to brag on Paul for a second. That's my former student right there. I love that. I'm proud of you, Paul.
Thank you.
Susie, do you have a what are we doing?
I do. It's kind of a quick one. I mentioned my nightmares that I'm having about first show.
Yeah.
My most recent nightmare was that I forgot to teach my cadet guard how to get on and off the floor. And we were at the show, and it was like, what? So what are we doing? Not making logistics part of our rehearsals going into the first show. I do that, but I have seen color guards at first shows. Like, you can just tell they've never talked about how to pull the tarp out, or, like every school is different. So you have to prepare for that. And so going into that week, you've got to walk them through it, especially younger groups, So just make sure logistics is a part of your rehearsal plan.
Yeah, there's tons of easy ways to do that, to create your crews and have that be like their daily job. They know how to go ins and outs of, moving the speakers and moving the floor, who's in charge of setting the floor and cones and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely putting time or dedicating actual time in your rehearsal plan to work on those. I think it will just makes everybody feel comfortable, because if your first 3 minutes in the space is you frantically trying to put everything together, you're not going to have a good run. Good on Daniel. You got a what are we doing?
Yeah. What are we doing? Emptying spit on the tarp. You could just walk a couple of feet to just like empty it into a trash can or like on the gym floor.
Thank you so much.
And like it's a safety hazard. Like say somebody like slips in it. First of all, that's disgusting. But like somebody just fell. That's not good. They probably might be injured. And like, yeah, mainly a safety issue.
Thank you. Especially when choreography has people rolling on the floor and there's your spit there. Stop it.
Yeah.
I know this is a Winds episode, but let's take it a step further. Don't do it on the Don't do it on the football field either. The guard has to roll in it.
Yeah,
that's full of football
It's
players.
a little different,
Yeah.
but still.
Sweaty guys running around everywhere. Yeah, no, I dig that. I'm into that. We do rags, and we have the members keep a rag like on their hip, and so they can just empty out and make sure it stays on and they move through. But yeah, I've seen that a lot. It's pretty disgusting. Good on you. All right, well, thank you guys for sharing your what are we doing.
Great job, everyone. Set your equipment down. Gush and go.
All right, it's that time. The sound said so. Susie, you got a gush and go?
I do have a gush and go. I would like to remind everybody that there is a Facebook group for WGI Winds instructors and designers. And I just wanted to kind of shout it out because it's a very informative, collaborative group. I see all kinds of questions going through there. Just if you're involved in the Winds or you're curious about the Winds, jump on that group. WGI Winds instructors and designers. See you there.
Please do it. I haven't seen an ounce of negativity on that Facebook page, so it's a great time. It's a great time. We love it. And I remembered my gush and go, by the way.
Awesome. Can I just really quickly, talking about that Facebook group, there is a post right now, and it's due in like a week, but there's the scholarship, the WGI Winds scholarship is due in a week. So you got to kind of compile some things together, but why not give a shot? You can it's one person per ensemble. So I think this is one of the first times they've done it for Winds specifically. I might be wrong. Somebody can correct me. But that's something that was just posted about 3 weeks ago, and it's still in there, so you still have time. Get you a scholarship. Don't pay your own money. Let WGI do it for you.
And I do want to give another shout out. I don't know who started the thread in there, but it was at the end of WGI last year. Someone put say something positive about another group, not your own. And it was just this love fest of everybody just
it was like 300
each other.
Or something. It was great.
It was amazing. Yeah.
It was dope. All right. Austin, what was your gush and go?
I got it. So I did mention in the beginning of the show that be on the lookout for something. I am in the process of building a couple of things, so be on the lookout. I'm going to do a hard launch on some things here in the next couple of weeks, so be on the lookout for that. It may or may not involve a website of my own, so be on the lookout. I'm really trying to take the next steps here, so
heck yeah,
keep an eye out on all my socials. So yeah, do that.
Sweet. Paul, you got a gush and go?
Stretch and take care of your body when you're not at rehearsal. It will go miles.
That's so valid.
Paul, you're so articulate, and your phrases are just there. Boom, here's the information. Take this home, practice it, come back with some better vibes. I appreciate you holistically. Daniel, you got a gush and go?
Get your schoolwork done. This mainly applies to the scholastic groups. Get your schoolwork done before rehearsal, not stress out after rehearsal over it.
Oh, yes. I like it. Okay, Daniel, you got to come back. You're coming back. We've already decided. Make sure you keep your homework up. I'll just gush and go really quick. There's lots going on. First shows here in North Carolina happening. I'm super excited about it. We'll see how everybody goes. However it goes this weekend is how it's going to go at the end of March. So there's a lot of pressure on Saturday. I'm just excited. I'm excited about all the things happening. I've planned so much for everything that's happening now. Now it's kind of like the train has left the station. I just got to kind of hold on. and just see where we end up. So very excited. I got some openings as a program coordinator and drill writer for next fall. So if anybody's looking, hit me up at joey@marchingbymontes.com. I'd love to write your drill. I'd love to help coordinate your production for the fall. Other than that, we're chilling. We're vibing.
Hey, it's called Gush and Go, not Gush and Stay. Let's go.
Thanks so much for a great rehearsal this week, and what a great start to season 3 we've had so far. Thank you to our hosts, Austin and Susie. Thank you to our clinicians this week, Paul and Daniel, and good luck with your season. Tell us where we can find you on social media, Susie.
Yeah, the social media I'd like to promote is our YouTube channel. My husband and I have one. It's called The Harloff Hub, which is a reference to Disney World, nothing else. And on that, you can see me in full Winds Mom mode because we have lots of vlogs of Avon doing championship week and just other little bits and things and videos from Avon and Crown and Disney World and all kinds of fun stuff. So come hang out with us on the YouTubes.
Heck yeah. What an interesting way to connect with people. I just got to say, like, there's so many tools and YouTube's the one. I'm about it. Paul, where can the people find you?
You can find me on Instagram at GreekGuy914 or follow the Horizon Winds Instagram at Horizon_Winds. You might see me on there.
Oh, right. Let's do it. Daniel, what you got?
You can find me on Instagram. My practice account, DRieger_music. Just my practice account.
Heck yeah. You log a lot of hours on that practice account?
Not recently. Recently, I've been working on the indoor show, so I can't post that. But before I was, yes.
Gotcha. Okay, well, very cool. Awesome. Well, friends, if you've got a question or a good topic to talk about, email us at onwaterbreakpodcast@gmail.com or find us on social media and DM us if you want to be on the show. We even have a form now to fill out if you want to be a guest. We love having people on the podcast, so check out that link in our bio on our social media, or you could just take out your phone, make a video, and send it to us, and maybe you'll see yourself on the podcast soon. One more thing, don't forget we have our YouTube channel now that has many of our interviews as full editions. Go and subscribe so you don't miss those. Before you close out of your podcast listening app, subscribe, write us a review, and share this with a friend. Follow us on social media at On a Water Break, and we'll see you at the next rehearsal. On a Water Break.
The On a Water Break podcast was produced by Jeremy Williams and Christine Reams. The intro and outro music was produced by Josh Lyda. To learn more, visit lydamusic.com. And until next time, thanks for tuning in.